So bantamweight, the bantamweight title. We always talk about bantamweight's the most stacked division. Well, hell, here's the top two guys for you.
Yeah.
And so these are the guys, like when you talk about O'Malley, Yanez, this is who they'll fight. It's these guys, right? So, well, obviously Sandhagen, Dillashaw, those guys too. But you get the point. We have the champion Aljamain Sterling, champion in quotes for me, plus 320,
Ooh.
fighting the interim champ Petr Yan, who's minus 425. These odds were slightly disrespectful, but honestly, if you base them on the last fight, these were spot on.
Yeah, man, that's how I saw it. And we actually, so that we and Harrison had a separate parlay that we had Jan inside the distance parlayed with Volk inside the distance. And it was going to give us, I think, like 4 or 5 to 1, right?
I think it ended up being 4.5 to 1 because it was 60 to 1, like 200 something.
Like 290 or something like that. Yeah.
It was damn near a 5 to 1.
Yeah, it was juicy. And it seemed super realistic, seemed like a good bet, you know.
Man, I think if Jan doesn't make that mistake in round 2, he does finish him before 5's up.
Yeah, man. And so, like, yeah. So, you know, let's dive into it because round 1, you know what, man? It's crazy. When I was watching it in real time, I had no idea that I was even watching, like, a controversial round, bro. Like seriously, like the thought didn't even cross my mind that this is gonna come back and be like a big, like vague, you know, nuanced debate.
So I think the only thing that made it even slightly hard for people to score, and it wasn't hard for me to score. I have a very clear winner of this round, but what I think made it difficult for people to score was there was not a lot of action, not a lot of like meaningful action.
And we talked about that. Those are the hardest rounds to score.
For sure.
That is all true. That's all.
Now,
true.
all that being said is, what is the tertiary way to judge fights? And they've told us this in the rule set. It's ring generalship. It's who commands the octagon. It's literally why I scored it to Petr Yan.
Yes.
He was directing where the fight took place. He was doing, honestly, I think more leg kicks and damage.
He had Aljo on the back foot running.
And Aljo could
wrestler on the back foot. He's useless.
And Aljo shot 3 takedowns that round and couldn't get one of them.
All stuffed.
So for me, it was like Jan is clearly the leader of the fight. He's the leader of the dance.
Bro, it wasn't close. Like when all this fight, it came down in the first round. How did you see the first round? Like I literally didn't think the first round was like close, bro. Like I mean, I guess it was close, but like Jan won it. Like it was obvious. Like, what the fuck? Who gives Aljo that round? What the fuck did he do? He got stuffed and he ran in the back foot. Like, god damn it. Dude, that shit's frustrating.
I agree.
I'm not a Yan fan. I'm a Sandhagen guy. Like,
yeah, me too. If I had to pick one guy out of the bantamweights, I want it to be Sandhagen so bad.
Yeah, like so bad. Like that's my guy. So if you're saying, "Oh, you're biased, you have a horse in the race, you're an Aljo hater," no, like none of that is true. I'm not a Yan guy. I'm not an Aljo.
It's like no, and in fact, you'd be against Yan for beating Sandhagen in this next fight up. You know, if that was like how we were going to view it.
And he's like white Moscow Russian, dude, the worst kind.
Yeah, Yekaterinburg, Russia is where he's from. But like, here's what was even more telling to me was they were booing Aljamain Sterling with hatred in Florida and chanting for Yan. And they're chanting Peter.
It's a real stat, and it's a bro stat, but it's a real stat. I swear to God, it's true. Anybody go fact check me. Petr Yan was the first Russian to get a cheer since the invasion of Ukraine.
Yeah, that's a legit fact. 100%. 100%. I expected them to boo him for being Russian, and they were all over him.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. Very, very interesting. Everyone hates Aljo, which I don't. I don't hate Aljo. No, I'm like,
I hate the way he acted and handled the situation of the first fight. If he had handled it better, I wouldn't dislike him.
You just want to ask, my opinion on Aljo can be summed up in one question. Do I think Aljamain Sterling is the best 135-pound fighter on planet Earth? The answer is no. And now I can't necessarily make a legal argument on paper, but just like whatever you want to call it, gut, eye test, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not even saying it's Sandhagen. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's one of these unranked guys that hasn't came up the rankings yet.
Maybe it's Sean O'Malley.
Maybe it's Davishvili. Like maybe it's his own teammate. Like maybe, I mean, but I'm saying I'm not sold that it's Aljo. So, like, it's not disrespect. It's not hate. It's not even opinion. I guess it's opinion. But, like, I just don't think he's the best bantamweight. And whenever, like, to me, the word best and the word champion should be synonymous. Like, I think
Yes,
the best welterweight is Kamaru Usman. I
for
think the
sure.
best heavyweights, Francis Ngannou,
I think the best middleweights, Israel Adesanya.
dude. So but like, I don't think the best bantamweight is Aljamain Sterling. So we both scored round 1, 10-9 Petr Yan, but I guess only one judge agreed with us. Is that correct?
Chris Lee.
Is that that's the guy we usually disagree with?
And Sal Diamato scored it for Sterling. The other guy was a judge we never have.
But,
So, okay, now this leads me to my next question, right?
Yeah.
This is exactly right, round 2. This is the most important thing in the fight, and why my scorecard was not reflective of any scorecard on the table.
Me too.
Perfect.
I'm right with you.
Round 2 is a 10-8, man. It's a 10-8 for Sterling. He takes him down, gets his back for 3.5 minutes, and Yan does no damage.
Subs. That's the most important part. Because if he just held him down and leg humped him and maintained position, I would not have given it 10-8. But there was multiple sub attempts and like pretty goddamn solid ground and pound.
One was super close too. That one of the chokes almost got locked in.
And it's like we've never seen Petr Yan rendered like useless ever.
Right, and he was exactly right. He was
fucking helpless.
So at this point, we both have it 19-18 to Sterling winning round 3. And now I think round 3 is a lot like round 2, but without the amount of damage and the extra control
literally
level.
My notes. You literally read my notes for me. Literally, I verbatim.
Yeah, and so, but I think that's obvious, right? Like, I think this fight wasn't that hard to score at this point, right? And so for me, I have it 29-27 going into round 4. And then I think 4 and 5 are very obviously Petr Yan.
Yeah.
So for me, 47-47.
Sterling mailed in 4 and 5?
No. I would like to say that, but I think it's fight style. I think Sterling comes out so hard in his first 2 to 3 rounds, whereas Yan usually sits back and then he gasses heavy on 4 and like he pushes down the gas on 4 and 5. Usually Yan does.
Like the classic Fast and the Furious scene when the guy shoots his nos too early.
Yeah, it's yes, exactly right. That's a great analogy. That's hilarious. I never thought about that. That's perfect. So that's why I thought Yan would be this overwhelming tidal wave that would come over the top in round 3. Round 4 would put a beating on Aljo, and then you'd finish him out early in round 5. That's literally how I saw it. It's why I think we agreed on the bet that we took.
I thought that Yan was just going to just stuff the takedowns and just beat the shit out of him. I really did. I really did.
To your point, Yan outstruck him by 40 significant strikes, and Aljo was 2 for 22 on takedowns. Now, granted, those 2 takedowns literally won him round 2 and 3. But 2 for 22 is a dog shit stat and percentage. That's a 9% success rate.
Especially for a wrestler. Now,
right.
I gotta say, I think Aljo is the best 35er. He may be the most athletic. He may just make like
good chance. And also, it looked like his physical condition was better than I've ever seen it. Which he said he got those neck surgeries and stuff, so I think that helped him a lot.
They did a combine. I think Aljo wins it. So like that's not for nothing.
Maybe EPO Dillashaw if he's on the juice.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Usada Dillashaw wants to smoke. But,
no, but that's who's next. Dillashaw will get the next shot.
So we both scored at a draw, which I guess we kind of got to pipe down a little bit because a draw would give Aljo his belt back.
But it would ensure they fight again as champion and interim champion because Yan would get his belt back too.